Sometimes situations are better off unscored, unmanaged, untimed. The best moments in my life aren't usually experienced through the constraints adopted by humans' imaginations of time and space. They're the candid moments that are behind closed doors, the place where cameras are forgotten, the place where we're surrounded by people who mean more to us than we can put into words.
A quiet place.
One thing that I have to remind myself of is privilege. The population in our modern age is divided between people who understand that systemic segregation between different genders, races, social classes, and cultures actually exists. And then there's a group of individuals who refuse to understand that the world is vastly different than their personal bubble suggests. This group actively attempts to reject the difference between equality and equity. I won't go into word comparisons in this video, but if you agree that there is systemic segregation in our society, but don't know the difference between equity and equality, it's alright. Check out one of the links in the description below for more information about the difference between the two. The reason I bring up privilege is because I understand that not everyone has the same support systems. My upbringing will be very different than any other child in my town, extremely different than any child raised in a city across the country for me, and completely foreign from a child who grew up in a different country. The ways that we show support to each other vary depending on where we grow up, and depending on what benefits and resources we have in our communities will also affect how supported we feel. Although the situations you put yourself in also have to do with how hard you're willing to try to obtain the goals you set for yourself, I do understand that one cannot just magically manifest the support systems they dream of.
There's nothing magical about it.
And that brings us to the topic of the video. My advice on finding moments that last a lifetime is to stop approaching everything as a documented moment, approaching each moment like a business plan or a social media post. Leaving time to sit in silence is an art form that seems to be dying in the pop culture world. Some even claim that to sit in silence is torture. For example, imagine that you're on vacation somewhere. Let's say the beach for you warm weather lovers, and for people like me that like the cold weather, we're in Greenland in an igloo. You decide not to plan every last detail. You go sightseeing, talk to the locals, find a cool restaurant, take a hike with some new friends, and find some authentic cultural landmarks. You get lost in the adventure. You decide to relax for the remainder of your trip, and you do nothing besides eat food, sleep, and talk for hours. The vacation ends and you head home. You go back to work, sleep, eat, work, repeat. You begin to feel the vast difference between the vacation and home life. Why is that? My theory harbors on one detail that I explained at the beginning of your imagination vacation: planning every last detail. When we feel that we have to schedule every part of our lives, we become a slave to the time and place that needs us. Although we shouldn't quit our jobs or spend less time with our family and friends, giving yourself time that has no scheduled moments behind it are important. Spontaneous moments experienced by yourself or with a loved one begin to feel like a vacation. The moments where we lose track of time, where we wonder how it got so late, and when we might be able to lose ourselves in a moment like this again. If you've gotten this far in the video and have absolutely no clue what I'm talking about, I have a challenge for you. We're going to do something called a scheduled spontaneity moment. You're going to look at your planner or schedule for the next week. You're going to pick out an hour or two of your time where you can be free. And when that time rolls around in the next week, you're going to come up with something to do off the top of your head. This may sound like a weird idea, but seriously, try it. Do this for a full month and tell me your stories below. Tell me about the things you've wanted to do but claim you don't have the time for. Make time for yourself. The moments we least expect something awesome to happen are usually the moments that mean the most to us later on. Don't believe me? Prove me wrong. Making time for yourself goes hand in hand with learning to love yourself. If you struggle with both, let me know if you want me to make more videos like this in the future. Let me know what questions and concerns you have in your life down in the comment section below. But in the meantime, check out this video I made about loving yourself.